Hi, it's Dr. Steve from Misericordia University. In today's virtual class, let's start looking at virtual experiences in the classroom. In particular, let's focus on augmented reality. The objectives of this class are to introduce you to augmented reality, what it is, how it works, and how you could possibly use it in the classroom. And second, let's explore a number of mobile and PC-based apps for various grade levels that will allow you to bring content to life and allow your students to explore content in a hands-on and visual way. So what is augmented reality? How could you define it? Basically, augmented reality involves the overlaying of some elements over the real-world environment. So on a screen, for example, on a mobile device, you would have either a combination of audio, graphics, text, and any kind of virtual elements. So things that are computer generated, and then they would be superimposed over the real world view that you're seeing through your camera. You use AR in one of two ways, either with a marker or it's markerless. If we're talking about a marker, then that means some object, something over which that AR digital artifact is mapped. So in other words, you point your camera to this object, and that object is where the augmented reality item appears. If it's markerless, it means that the AR artifact just appears out there in the world. So how old is augmented reality? Well, it did exist for a couple of years in theory and also in some rudimentary forms, but it really became public and captured public attention with the game Pokemon Go, and that was released in the summer of 2016. And here you can see a picture of a markerless AR app, and the person is holding a phone looking out in reality, and superimposed over that view is a monster. So how does augmented reality compare to virtual reality? Well, VR involves immersing the learner in a completely computer-generated world. So everything in the view is completely computer-generated. And many times the learner may use some type of viewer in order to see it better and to immerse more in the environment and to enjoy it more. By contrast, augmented reality involves through the camera on the screen, you're going to see the real world. It's like looking through a camera. However, certain pieces will be added, certain computer-generated items will be added and superimposed into the real world. Sometimes a user could use a viewer to view the AR, but they don't have to. How can augmented reality benefit the classroom? Well, while it is relatively new, there are some studies that are strongly suggesting that AR can benefit the classroom greatly, especially the fact that you have real-world objects and you have augmented reality objects superimposed over the top. This study I'm referencing here suggests that using this technology, we can reduce the mental load of learners, and we can increase that sense of immediacy. In other words, it's real to the learner. It's very interesting, and it enhances their motivation because they're seeing the real world and not just a computer-generated world. So while this field is wide open in terms of research, we still see that a number of researchers are strongly suggesting that augmented reality holds much potential to support learning in the classroom. So let's introduce AR by taking a look at a product called HP Reveal. It once was called Erasma. It's a really cool product and very effective. Unfortunately, it is going to be replaced by the HP company. Let's take a look at what it can do. I'm now going to open HP Reveal. You can use this on a Starbucks cup, or in my case, to show you how powerful it is, I'm using this on a picture of a Starbucks cup. The whole top of the cup comes to life in AR. Now I'm going to close out of that one, and let me come over here and aim at this dollar bill. It knows to look for the dollar bill. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
Therefore, as we set sail, we have thought blessing on the greatest adventure. We choose to go to the moon, investigate, and do the other thing, not because they are.
Zoocasm is a very inexpensive app that allows younger learners to actually see animals in their own environment in reality. Let's take a look at that. Using Zoocasm, let me bring some animals to life in my kitchen. Start with an eagle. I'm going to press the button with the stars. There's an eagle. We'll try for one more. Choose a mammal. And choose a deer. Now I'm going to place the deer right here. Hologo opens up a doorway into a new land or a new place where learners can explore. Let's take a look at how this app works. Let me now open Hologo. I'm in my backyard. You see my trees there. And look at this. There's a doorway that has opened in my backyard, a portal into a different world. So let me walk through the doorway. And here I am looking at the Colosseum in Rome. I want to walk out here a little closer because I can walk around and explore it. By the way, this is not a live feed. This is a recorded video of Rome. So I'm looking around. Oh, and look, there's a doorway that will lead me back to my house. Now let's turn our focus on several augmented reality apps that would be ideal for younger children. Quiver is an app ideal for young learners. It allows the teacher to print out coloring sheets that are already pre-made, and after the students color them, they can then bring them to life as augmented reality objects. Let's take a look at how that works. Now I'm going to open the Quiver app. So I started with something that I have colored. And now my coloring has turned into three-dimensional and interactivity. How exciting for younger students. For Halloween, I have now drawn a little face on this handout. See if it'll get the whole page in here. Oh, there it is. So the one that I drew is now in 3D. GeoGebra allows younger children and also older students, so students of all ages, to bring mathematical shapes and equations to life as augmented reality objects. Let's take a look at how that works. Using GeoGebra AR, I'm going to plot this function, ax squared plus y squared, on my front lawn. And I can now explore it, take a good look at it to understand it better in 3D. Further, you can see that there are a bunch of things that this app allows us to do. I'm going to look at kind bottle, and I'll blow it up just a little bit. Oop. Took it down a little too far. Let's blow it up a little bit. I can now go into the bottle, actually trace it inside, and follow my way around in it to understand it better. And they also have a basic solids activity for younger students where they can look at these particular items and they're prompted to these basic solids and prompted to take pictures of the appropriate ones. Many things you can do to bring math into better understanding and to life for our students. AR flashcards is actually a series of apps that allow younger students and up to mid-level students to explore different areas of content. Let's look in particular at the AR President Lincoln. Let me open Virtual Lincoln. Into Lincoln itself. Now I'm going to start the app by looking down at my feet. And I'm going to find a location where I can place Lincoln. So I'm going to place Lincoln right in front of my house. And there he is. Let me place a hat on his head. Now, I'm going to come around here and explore. And there he is tipping his hat. Thank you, Abe. President, Mr. President. Now, look how tall he is. This is real size Abe Lincoln. Now, this is a fun app so that your students can explore. There are many other options available here. We can also take a picture of Abe Lincoln. I'll take a picture of him right now in front of our house. I'm not going to share it at this point. But what a great experience for students to get a feel for what Lincoln might have been like and just how tall he was. The merge cube is a marker, and it allows the merge cube apps that are designed for use with it to digitally map some artifact onto the cube. The cube is inexpensive, and you can purchase it from places like Target and Walmart. Let's take a look at how one of the apps for Merge Cube works. Galactic Explorer is an app designed for use with the Merge Cube, and it digitally maps our solar system onto the cube so students can explore and manipulate it. Let's take a look at it. I'm now going to open the Explorer, the Galactic Explorer, using Merge Cube. Now here is what the Merge Cube looks like. I've got two of them here so you can see Merge Cube, which is a rubber cube with different markings and symbols on it, actually turns into, in this case, the solar system. You can manipulate it around, and then I can learn about the different elements here of the solar system. Now let's consider, how could you use augmented reality with older students? Civilizations is based on the BBC popular TV show Civilizations. This app allows users to take museum artifacts and place them in reality, for example, in the classroom or in their own home. Let's see how it looks. I'm I'm now going to open the BBC Civilizations AR. So in my backyard, I have a whole museum at this point. The globe, and let me find some artifacts I'd like to see. And my first artifact right here.
This artifact has been scaled up. Pinch the artifact to scale it down to its original size.
I can now explore this artifact from a museum right in my familiar surroundings, which in this case is my backyard. The human eye is one of a series of apps created by Magic Software. First, the teacher prints out the marker, which is a diagram of an eye. Then students will point their device at the marker and explore the eye in 3D. If this is useful to your students, they also have apps such as the human brain and the human heart. Let's take a look at the eye. Now let's explore the human eye. I'm going to turn this
to print the marker.
Skip their introduction information. I'm going to turn this handout into a 3D eye. I can explore it. And further, I can move this slider and slowly peel back the various layers of the eye till we get down to the very basic parts and back to the handout. Let's finish our look and exploration into augmented reality by looking at AR that you could do outdoors or in some large space. Google Expeditions is a free and a very useful and robust app that allows students to work with teachers to be guided through different experiences, or students can work individually and explore their way through experiences as well. When you enter the app, search for AR tours, because they also have virtual reality tours available as well. Let's take a look at what one of the AR Google Expeditions looks like. I'm now going to open Google Expeditions. In Google Expeditions, I'm going to open the Roman Colosseum. You'll see there's some information that a student or teacher can access. Always start these apps by looking down so that they can get a feel for where you're at and see if there's enough space to prepare the AR item. So I'm going to make this a life-size Colosseum in my backyard. And if it's life-size, I can also walk through it. So let me do it. Let me walk into the Colosseum. I can look around and really explore it. Now on the bottom of the screen, I also have other scenes available. So let me go to the Roman ship. Again, there's information appearing here. I'm going to close that down and let me pinch this up, make it life-size. And now in my backyard, I'm looking at a Roman ship. To make it more interesting for my students, let me walk onto the ship. What would it be like to actually sail on a ship like this? I can get a feel for it. It's a windy day, so I'm getting the feel of the wind here also, but there's no water in my backyard. What a great experience to offer to your students. I hope you enjoyed our exploration into augmented reality and its possible uses in our classrooms. To wrap up today's class and to further process information that we looked at today, let's use a discussion board on Blackboard and record your reactions and your thoughts about augmented reality. I'm going to present a series of questions. When you post to this discussion board, don't feel you have to answer every single question, but rather throughout our entire class discussion, we will likely cover all of the questions. So these questions are meant to spark up our conversation. Enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you at our next class.